Hello boys and girls, so this video is for those people who have not decided yet if they should buy the new Sadako Rising chapter. I got to tell you that I will buy this chapter because I'm a sucker for new chapters. Basically, I spend all of my money on Dead by Daylight. I hate myself every time I do it, but Dead by Daylight. Come on, it's Dead by Daylight. Now, the fact that I will buy this chapter doesn't mean that it's good. In fact, I believe that it's quite opposite. In this video, I will talk about the new killer, the Onryo, also known as Sadako, and I will talk about where I would put this new killer on a tier list. So this video is gonna be quite informative, so let's not waste any time anymore, let's talk about it. But first of all, my goal is to reach 1000 subscribers sometime this year, so make sure you are subscribed and I will personally deliver my 6.5 inches cock to your door. Thank you very much. Okay, so as the title of this video suggests, I do not think that Sadako is a good killer, and I will explain why I think like that later in this video. But why not to start with something positive? I think overall this chapter is pretty good. Ringu is one of the most popular and iconic Japanese horror franchises, and to have it in Dead by Daylight, it's just amazing. Both Survivor and Killer have good stories, and I'm sure that if you are interested in the lore of Dead by Daylight, you are gonna love this chapter. I also think that the killer looks creepy and it has some of the best animations in the entire game. Those animations are just perfect. Another positive is perks. Some people say that this chapter doesn't really have good perks, and I would disagree. For example, I really like this Sadako perk called Call of Brime, and I know that on some killers I will use this perk regularly. But I don't want to talk about perks too much, I just wanted you to know that this chapter has many positive things, and now let's talk about negative things, because there are many negative things about this chapter too. The first one is that this chapter doesn't have any new map, neither we get a map rework, so when we talk about maps, there's nothing new with this chapter, which is a little bit disappointing. I was expecting something, but it's not a big deal because I think we will get a new map rework with the next mid-chapter update, and then we will get a new map with the next chapter. All of the other negatives are in the killer's power. I don't think there are many other negative things besides this killer's power, so let's talk about Sadako herself. The positive thing about this killer's power is that she can teleport to any TV on the map without any cooldowns, so you can check like 5 locations in a matter of seconds, so it's very easy to locate where the survivors are, and I think if mastered, this killer could be good at applying map pressure. Also, I immediately found some good perks for this killer, like Save the Best for Last and a few other perks, and I mean that it's very easy to find a nice build for this killer. Sadly, but these are all of the positive things I got to tell you about this killer, and there are not a lot of positives when we talk about this killer's power. So where do I start? This killer is like a mix between a wraith, a spirit, and a Freddy, and all of these killers, I think they do it better than Sadako, which is a bad thing. I think the power itself has the most similarities to the power of the Wraith, but I would argue that Wraith's power is even better, because both killers have to manifest to hit the survivor, you know, they are usually kind of invisible when they are demanifested, but every time the Wraith uncloaks, she gains a speed boost, which doesn't happen with this killer. So I think I can say that Wraith has something in her power that helps her to chase survivors. This killer it just sucks at chasing survivors, okay? I also noticed that the lunge of her attack is for some reason shorter than most of the killers in this game, which I don't know if it's just a feeling, but take a look at this video. It's not bad. Look at this, I can't hit. I don't know, maybe her lunge is the same as other killers, maybe it's just the weird feeling, but it really feels like it's worse. When we talk about the way this killer feels, I got to tell you that it feels bad to play as this killer because she is the shortest killer in Dead by Daylight. Do you remember when the Blight came to Dead by Daylight? It was terrible to play him because of his FOV. It was terrible because he was a short killer. Luckily, he got fixed, but right now playing as Sadako reminds me of him at the release, and it's terrible. It's especially bad when you have to notice the survivors running, and sometimes you can notice them with other killers that are taller, but with this killer it's hard. I would be really surprised if developers fixed this thing. I don't think it will be fixed, but it's just another minor complaint from me. Another terrible thing about her power is that there's this new thing called Condemned, and if the survivor carries a tape for too long, or if the killer teleports to a TV next to a survivor, they will get this condemned effect, and if they get 7 stacks of condemned, then this killer will be able to mori the survivor. But it's basically a meme because it's very hard to actually get condemned. It's not even like something to think about. I think developers should make it much easier to get condemned, because it's not even scary, you know, it's like a meme. I was carrying the tape for the whole game for a meme to get moried, and even that was not easy to do. I think this killer has many better alternatives in the game at the moment, and it's kinda sad because it's a new killer. I was so excited, I was so fucking excited to play this killer, I'm not even kidding you, but now I'm kinda disappointed. I do think that the chapter is good overall. I really appreciate that we got Ringu chapter in the game, but I do believe that this killer will get buffed eventually, because right now so many people are complaining, especially on YouTube. And talking about the tier list, I see many people putting this killer as a C tier killer, and I would say that C is probably the best tier you can put this killer at the moment, but I would go as far as to put this killer in a D plus tier, I guess. It's very hard to tell right now. We will see how it goes on the release. Maybe this killer will be buffed, maybe it won't. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you disagree with me, if you think this killer is a masterpiece, please comment why, and I'm really excited to see all of your comments. Thank you for watching very much, like this video, and see you later.